Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Diksha Vedantu for grade 10. I am your maths teacher Ankit Srivastav. Now over here on our platform we have a goal to make learning simple, easier and of course a little fun. And how are we going to do that? With the help of plenty of practice, some smart tips to stay ahead and of course easier explanations. Now in today's video we are going to talk about the pattern change in the sample paper for mathematics. I understand many of you are confused, right, that the changes that have been brought by the CBSE board for maths paper might not be clear. So we'll break it down in the simple terms so that you will know what to expect exactly. Okay, let's start the session now. Now if you see these two papers over here, they are sample paper from your year 24-25 and year 25-26. If you see this carefully, what you find actually here is, again the category was A, B, C, D over here. Please check section A, section B, section C, section D and section E. Total of 20 MCQs were there, 18 MCQs and 2 assessment reason. We also had section B, VSA. We had section C as SA and section D as LA, and section E was case study questions, total of 3, 12 mark category. Okay, total of 38 questions was there. If you remember, total of 38 questions were there, and you had of course internal choice. All questions were mandatory and you had an internal choice given in some questions. If you check the sample paper of this year, it repeats the same thing. It repeats the same thing, 38 questions. There are no optional questions. There are internal choices but no optional questions, and section remains same, A, B, C, D, E. Now as a student, this creates confusion. What exactly is the change then? What exactly is the change then? And to avoid any of this kind of confusion in future, just do one thing. My recommendation, do one thing, and what is that? Follow Diksha Vedantu for class 10 YouTube channel. When you do that, you get experience of 20 years plus in teaching CBSE students for grade 10 in English. And the beauty, the unique part of this channel will be will teach all the subjects that is there in CBSE grade 10, and that will be, the medium will also be in the English. Okay, so subscribe right now and turn the bell icon. This again. Diksha Vedantu for class 10th. Now over here we have an experience of 27 years plus teaching and guiding students for grade 10, and the medium of teaching will be English. The unique thing about our platform will be, we'll teach all the subjects and we'll teach only in the language English. So your journey for 95% starts here. For any updates, for any learning, subscribe to our channel right now and turn the notification bell on so that you don't miss out on any of the videos. Okay, and your preparation is streamlined as it should be. Let's continue. Now this is the the screenshot that I've taken from your latest CBSE board update. Okay, this is NEP 2020, the National Education Policy, and if you see here the highlighted part, in the sense that they will test primarily core capacities, basically the competencies, rather than months of coaching and memorization. So the approach has been changed. Okay, and of course you'll have a 2 exam mode now. You'll have 2 papers, one to write over here as the main examination, other will be improvement if desired by you. Now understanding this whole thing might be difficult for you. You can't read all of this, right? But if you want, you can go ahead and on the official website of CBSE and download the latest update. But I have also broken down this into simpler terms. Let me explain you one by one. Over here, first thing is the key change. The basic understanding is, what is the main thing, sir? You had a confusion, let's avoid that completely now. The key change is only in the competency based questions. Sir, this was there already, in the previous examination. Yes, it was, but the number of questions is going to be increased. So you'll have more of competency based questions than you had in the previous examination. So what's the meaning of this competency based questions? Basically, instead of direct formula based problems, you'll have more application based questions. For example, if I talk about the chapter mensuration, okay, if I talk about the chapter mensuration, or if I talk about the chapter trigonometry, I can clearly see the questions of this category, right? If I talk about trigonometry also, metry, or we talk about probability, in all these chapters we can have application based questions. We can have in all the chapters, but I'm just giving you 3 examples. Mensuration, remember, instead of giving you the formulas and finding area of something or volume of something, they can give you a shape, a real life, a structure, and then you have to find the area volume from there. They can, in the trigonometry, remember the question based on the bird flying over a lake, you find the height, the angle of elevation is given for the bird from the point of an observer at one point sitting on a boat, something like that. Or lighthouse questions can also be given in trig. Probability then can also be given, or statistics can also be given based upon, the race problem was there in case study. So basically in all these categories or many more, the question category will be changed to more of application based than the direct problem solving. Okay, and of course you need the higher order thinking to be able to attempt and get these answers right. You have to develop that by practicing this kind of questions. That's the key change, competency based questions. Moving on, the formula based direct questions are fewer now. Of course, formula based questions will be there. Formulas are still very much important, but not like just knowing the formulas will give you the right answer. So you have to have the higher order thinking with the formulas to solve the problems coming in your way for your boards. And direct recall questions will be less. What is the meaning of this? If you know the formulas, if you memorize the formula, apply that and get the answer. So direct recall question will be reduced from here onwards. Okay, so this is the 2 basic updates, the basic changes in your exam pattern of mathematics. Okay, so that we can see from sample papers. Nothing else is there. No, the question number remains same, 38 only. Section A, B, C, D, E remains same. The marking scheme also remains same. All questions are compulsory and you have internal choice given to you. Okay, now with all of that, with the new pattern, we should also have new approach to tackle all of this, isn't it? We should have a new approach to tackle all of this, and for that comes this slide over here, new pattern, new approach. What is that? Understand concepts before memorizing formulas. Remember, we used to do this in quadratic equation, the formulas, right, and get the answer directly. Okay, the formula of AP, get the answer directly. Of course, that will not be applied over here because questions of different categories coming, hot questions is coming, competency question is coming in your way. Then what are you going to do? You have to understand, focus on concepts more than memorizing the formula. Formula, of course, you have to memorize, you have to learn the formulas, but concept understanding is prioritized over here. Next is practice mixed type of questions, whether it is case-based studies, for example, assumption reason or HOTS question, higher order thinking skills problems. And of course, understand the marking scheme very well. This is very, very important. Marking scheme is very, very important. Again, their official website, marking scheme is given by the CBSE board. Go ahead, for subject wise, they have given a marking scheme for a question of 2 marker, for question of 3 marker. What steps are mandatory? Let's, for example, writing the formula carries half mark. Writing the final answer clearly in a box or highlighting it carries half mark. So writing the final answer carries half mark. Writing the formula carries half mark, and the working of the question carries also 1 mark. That makes 2 mark. For example, for every question 2 marker, 3 marker, 5 marker, and even for the 4 marker of case study, you'll have a different type of marking scheme in every subject. I'm talking about only mathematics. Okay, so go ahead, download the marking scheme from the official website. Download marking scheme from official website. Okay, 1 second. Now if you want me to make a session and teach you, explain you about the marking scheme, let me know that in the comment section, that sir, please give us a video for the marking scheme. I'll come up with that session and we'll talk about that in detail. But right now, understand this is very, very important to give our energy on, spend some energy on marking scheme. Break down problems into smaller steps. Let's say big question is there, right? So break down that into smaller steps to deal with it. That's the new approach. And relate maths concept to real life examples. For example, the questions can be taken from probability, the race question was there from statistics. So all that, try to relate with real life examples, structures which is there, and when you're solving it, see where you can apply this concept. AP, where can you apply the concept of AP? Okay, for example, in banking system or wherever it is, you have to understand applying the concepts of different learnings, different problem solving in the real life world. Okay, now time yourself while solving application based problem. This is very important. Because let's say solving case study question carries only 4 marks, but if you solve it takes 10 minutes, takes 8 minutes, take 12 minutes, you can't have that, you can't do that. For 4 marks, if you take 10 minutes to solve, then of course you are going to miss out on the other questions. There's a time, right? There's a time constraint in the examination. So understand that this is very, very important to time yourself. Give a target, 4 minutes, 4 mark question. That is more than enough, okay? So 4 mark, you have to finish that 1 case study. That's the most you can take for one question. Okay, so make sure that you're gonna time yourself in application based problems, because they tend to be lengthy. You take some time to understand and break down the problem in the simpler steps. It takes some time to do that. You have to practice that in time environment so that you can overcome it. Okay, so this completes our agenda for the session today, where we talk about what are the basic changes in our maths exam pattern. So I'm going to repeat one again. There is no change in the number of questions. There is no change in the the choice of the question. You have to solve all of the 38 questions. They are compulsory. Even the section remains same, A, B, C, D, E. You have internal choice, remains the same. Difference is that there will be a fewer formula based questions, direct questions, and more competency based problems. Okay, I hope this is very much clear, and do not worry about any of that, any of the changes coming further in future in this whole year before your boards. Just subscribe to our channel right now and turn on the notification bell. If you do that, any update coming your way, will be coming on our platform and let you know on all of that information. Okay, so I hope this is very much clear. I would love to know your feedback, what you think you have. If you have to add something, let us know in the comment section, and I'll see you again very soon. Till then, take care. Bye bye.